Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the MotoGP Career Mode. In today's episode we will have the final round of the season. We will be doing our last race for my world Aprilia. But just before I get into it, I'm out of debt as you might have noticed. I just want to go through the standings. So we're going to start with Moto 3. Pedro Costa has sealed it, so 40 points are available, 25 for a win. So Jaume Masia cannot win this one, so the championship is done. The young Spaniard Pedro Acosta has won the Moto 3 championship. We move up now to Moto 2, and Sam Lowe's has won the championship, so another championship settled even before we get to Valencia. He's beaten off Remy Gardner by 81 points, so a very emphatic victory there in the championship for the Brit. And in the GP class, once again, the championship is on the line coming into this one. Bagnaia has to have a non-score and Fabio has to win or the championship is over. Even at that, I don't know who's won more races, but it's pretty much that Ducati are going to have their first championship victory since 2007. But we're going to get into the action now. There's not much I can do with the little funding I have, and we've maxed out the Aprilia headquarters. Still, unfortunately, no offers. I wanted a new telemetrist because you can see, like I've mentioned in previous episodes, my Synergy nearly 80 in the engine, 40 in electronics, frame is very low, and aero not really a massive concern for me, but I'd like to add a good 50 onto that frame just to, when I go to Suzuki, I can really bulk up that bike, because I am expecting a pretty average bike when I get there. But anyway, we have one more round. We have a payment for rider rewards, so that's gonna just skip by that, and it's going to be a fully dry weekend for Valencia, so we're gonna end it off well. Payment for bike rental, so I'm severely in debt going into this, 130,000 again, but we will get our season reward from Aprilia at the end of the race, and that will put us back in the green, I hope. Nonetheless, let's get off to the final round of the season. So we just about scraped into Q2 for this weekend. It was an absolute qualifying lap for me. Saw full power and I scraped in just about. So we will be in the top 10, 12 on the grid, but I don't know how high up we'll be. Pace really has been quite average. We're going to just set one lap, final race season. I don't really have anything to gain or lose. Champion position isn't really something I'm concerned about. Into turn we get it slightly wrong. Marc Marquez comes out and we just about go around the outside of him. He doesn't hold us up, thankfully. The AI do have a habit of parking on the racing line. Then when you catch them, they kind of speed up and just hold you up. But we're actually 2.5 tenths under in sector 1, which is quite shocking to me. I know it's still early in the session, but that was surprising me. I'm way wide through turn 5. Way wide. And into turn 6 here we come. Almost getting up now towards the end of sector 2. We're going to see the sector 2 split any second now. And we are actually even further, quarter tenths under, so we're on a very good lap. We actually run it again very wide in turn 8. So unfortunately, it's been a scruffy lap, but it's been a quick lap judging by my sector times. Now I do imagine the AI will go much quicker. Turn 11 there, again we're slightly wide. Marcus has crashed behind me on a cold tyre. We have lost about a tenth and a half in that sector, no surprise since I was wide in every corner. And into the final sector we come now, one corner here, turn 13 and then into 14. We just drifted over there, getting as close as you can to the grass. And I was a bit shallow on the brakes. I could have broke a bit deeper into Campos. And up to the line we come. We're probably going to take provisional pole, or we're going to be close. 29.4, we just take pole for now. But we actually somehow managed to hang on to it. My pace has been shite all weekend, absolute rubbish. And we've somehow managed to stick it on pole. I don't know how I managed that. That was a interesting session, shall I say. My race pace is not good. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I will go backwards. I know I said that in the past, but I'm fairly sure in this one I will get past and duffed up and go backwards. I really don't have what I would class as good pace. Even Jack Miller on the opening warm-up lap is trying to pass me. But it's the last race for Aprilia. I'm going to try my hardest, try and give them at least a points finish. I think I should be able to finish in the points. Not a huge fan of the Valencia track. It's not one of my favourites. So yeah, I have a lot going against me in this race. But I have managed to win here before. My Moto2 championship was decided here on the last lap. So I do have some good results here. But I don't think this is going to be anything special around here. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. The AI have a habit of just sending it up the inside to go for really aggressive moves. And it really affects my flow. So I'm like proof that obviously on my own I seem to have decent pace with the qualifying lap getting pole, but in the race I feel like the AI will just leave the brakes off and run it up the inside, and yeah, they won't be nice about it, shall we say. But nonetheless, we are on the grid for the final time this season. 5 red lights and we're off. We get a reasonably good start for the final time on the Aprilia. Up to turn 1 we come, hard on the brakes at the pit lane exit, and we get contact. Miller gets that all wrong, drops back down to, I don't know where he's going out of the top 10. Fabio Quartararo is taking the lead, so not good for me. Good for Fabio though. He needs to win this race and hope that Pecco Bagnaia DNFs and Johan Zarco absolutely sent it up inside there again, so already pretty much out of the podium contention because Mir is less than a tenth behind me. Now it's Oliveira, so there's a big gaggle of riders right there, and I'm not strong at this track, so we're going to give it our best, see can we do what we can. We are quite strong on the brakes, not that time though. We run it wide, not sure he's left the door open for the KTM. It has not. We've managed to hold them off. Again, wide through there, that was going to affect us through there, and that surely means KTM is up the inside. And what we hold off until the end of lap 2, where Mir absolutely rubs us up on the inside of Campos. Coming down into turn 1, we're dropping drastically back. Wide again, surely Mir, there he goes, small bit of contact, he tucks the front, pushes me out to the curb, and we lose 2 positions. Oliveira slides on through as well. So down to P5 now. This isn't going very well for me. Bagnaia is next up behind me, he probably will have me too. Zarco leading from Quartararo, so the current Frenchman leader is taking the championship off the table. He's doing the job for Ducati and not for his Patriot. But there's a Ducati up my inside. That's Bagnaia. Is he going to try it into that corner? He did actually successfully pass me in there. We've dropped back as far as 10th. I've cut most of the race out because I've just been riding pretty poor at this track, being duffed up by the AI. There must have been crashes farther back because Rossi is 26 seconds behind. So we come up to the line now. We have 3 laps remaining. Our pace has been pretty consistent, but it just hasn't been anywhere near good enough. We just don't have the pace here. Under race fuel and all that going on, we haven't been able to battle. Pole Espargaro next up with Taka Nakagami up next after that. So we got our 3rd track limits warning of the race. 2.5 laps remaining. That's number 4. That's not good. That means we're going to be on our best behaviour for the remainder of this race, and we just need to hope we can keep it within the white lines. Saying that, if we were to get a long lap penalty, we could do it no problem without the fear of Rossi behind us catching us. We have such a big gap over him. Down into turn 8 we come, and pretty strong on the brakes down into turn 8, but not strong enough to make a move. So this is one of these usually boring GP races at Valencia. It's not a great track for overtaking. It's very hard to get near anyone to make a move, and the rear end of Pole Espargaro is moving around an awful lot, but so is my rear end of the Aprilia. We take some time out of him into the final corner, square it off, and we probably could pass him into turn 1. We are going to go to the outside with a bit of slipstream and hard on the anchors down into turn 1. There's contact between us and Pole, but he pulls out of it. Now Nakagami's up next. We're gaining on the back from in touch hot. But again, they just take very weird lines, so they're quite slow, but they're very aggressive if they're behind you. Nakagami in the middle of two corners as look over his opposite shoulder. The bike is backing it in. Oh, we had a big mistake there. Lit the rear up, took weight off the front, and the bike started to chatter and buck and boo into the corner. So we've lost position once again to pole, so we're back into P10. Just up ahead of Nakagami, Marc Marquez is slowly coming back to us, so he must be having tyre issues. We've hit the back of the Repsol Honda rider of Espargaro, and we've sent him slightly away. We're just going to need him there. And final lap time. Paul Espargaro is up next once again. He's just a bit quicker than me. He's quicker and stronger on the braking, which is where I'm losing all my time at the moment. Marc Marquez is in serious trouble. He's been caught and passed by Taka Nakagami. Up next is his teammate, who's going to make light work of him, I feel. So P9 looks to be on the cards today, but we'll see what we can do. My pace itself isn't great. Paul Espargaro just drives alongside his teammate. Just going to sit him up down into turn 8. We make a lot of time up on Marquez. He's running slightly wide. We're going to just drive under him. We've so much more edge grip than him. So that Honda not doing what Marquez would want. And we're actually wide into 11, so he might try it back, but he's so far. He's already lost a quarter of a second, up half a second now nearly. So it's going to be P9, unfortunately, in this final race at best. We're running it deep there again. And yeah, it's probably the right way to go. I would feel a bit weird if we won the race without it and kind of without dominating, because I think I've been the fastest and most consistent rider since about Silverstone. But across the line, thank you, Aprilia. So we just finished in P9 ahead of Marc Marquez, 8.2 seconds off of Johann Zarco, who beat his compatriot Fabio Quartararo. That confirms Francesco Bagnaia as world champion. The top 5 separated by a second. That must have been an absolute ding dong. And Valentino Rossi, fair play to him on the final lap, took the fastest lap. And Bastianini, Binder and Frankie Morbidelli all not finishing. We finished the championship in 6th position. If we had a better race today, we could have got 5th, because Maverick finished 12th, and if we got on top 5, we could have probably got the extra 7 points. But it's not to be. And Zarco actually finished the championship in 2nd position. Francesco wins it, so brilliant result for Ducati. 1-2 France, 2-3, and actually 1-2-4 for Ducati. And we finished as top Aprilia ahead of both Suzuki's, which we're going on to next year. So let's hope they underperform this year, because they didn't win many races, I will admit. Ducati and Yamaha dominated the wins, and we took a few ourselves. P5 as well in the teams, and we bring home ahead of Suzuki in the Constructors P3. The best ever result for Aprilia in a Constructors Championship. Finally, we get a nice bonus. We got all our bonuses back for the end of the year. We're back into the green with the money. We're up to 180,000 thereabouts in credits, so we're finally out of debt. You can see we've 16,000 resource development points for the engine. Just shows how well our engine, as you can see all the points we've at the end of the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 podiums in the end, which is just shows from that second half of the season, Austria onwards, we had 6 podiums, 2 wins, which is just phenomenal. It's proper championship form there. Third, no score, first, third, first. You can see as well our Ute riders. Louis Robbie unfortunately didn't get any podiums or wins or pole positions. His best result was a P8, and Manuel Hernandez, second in Thailand, was his best result, so fair play to him. We will be doing a separate episode now for winter testing next, and we will sort out all the usual bikes and liveries like that. So I am going to end it here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. It's been a great season, so I want to thank you, Aprilia, and thank you all for watching, and I shall see you for pre-season in the not so distant future.